This is K1DBC. The DRC Learning Net will start in 1 minute. All stations, please stand by. Hello and welcome back to the Denver Radio Club Learning Net for May 29th, 2024. It's a great place to learn about ham radio and STEM topics in general, and thankfully we have plenty of combined experience and expertise. This is Kilo 1 Delta Bravo Charlie. My name is Dorone, and I am this evening's net control. I'd like to thank Jim for taking last week's Learning Net. Really do appreciate that. Looks like you all talked about EMP events, the upcoming siren tests, radio programming, electromagnetic waves, some signal checks, some loaner equipment. So we'll be talking about any of that, but we'll be taking your check-ins, comments, questions, updates, and more. We meet every Wednesday, except the third Wednesday of the month at 7:30 p.m. Mountain Time on 145.490 and 448.625. Both have a negative offset. You can contact us at elmer@w0tx.org and most social media at Denver Radio Club. That's also to include youtube.com/Denver Radio Club. So we stream and archive our nets on there. If you'd like to see behind the scenes of the net or visual context, that is an additional way to participate in the net. This net can be broken at any time for emergency or priority traffic by using the word break. Is there any emergency or priority traffic at this time? All check-ins to the net will be taken in alphabetical groups based on the first letter of the suffix of the operator's call sign. That is the first letter after the number in the call sign. If you can, please try to use I2 phonetics for your call sign and indicate if you have traffic or questions as you check in. You can follow along with check-ins, w0tx.org/check-in if you'd like. We got our first check-in online. Ed Reed got you checked in here. All right, this is K1DBC Net Control. With that, we will start off with call suffixes, beginnings with the letters A through M, Alpha through Mike. Let us know your call sign, your name, and if you have any traffic or questions, A through M, please check in now. All right, this is K1DBC Net Control.
Alpha Fox 0 Echo, Alex Bromfield.
All right, I got you checked in there, Alex AF0E. Once more, if your call suffix begins with the letters A through M, Alpha through Mike, and you'd like to check in just for the count, or if any of your traffic or questions, let us know your call sign, your name, and if you have any traffic or questions, please call now. All right, this is K1DBC Net Control. Might be a little bit of a quiet short net, but that's not a problem. We'll take all call signs, all call suffixes. This is the Denver Radio Club Learning Net. If you'd like to check in just for the count or if any traffic or questions, we're taking all call signs, all call suffixes. Let us know your call sign, your name, and if you have any traffic or questions, please call now.
W0TX repeater.
Alpha Echo Zero Romeo Kilo. Fred, in Denver, no traffic.
And we got AE0RK Fred, got you checked in there, and I see Kevin Schmidt on the spreadsheet here. I can get you checked in as well, K0 KPS, but if you'd like to chime in, not a problem at all. We're taking all call signs, all call suffixes. Let us know your call sign, your name, and if you have any traffic or questions, please check in now.
November 0, Tango Romeo Papa, Jim in Lakewood. Good evening.
All right, and that time we had N0TRP. Jim, thank you so much for checking in. Well, all right, this is K1DBC Net Control, K1DBC Net Control for the Denver Radio Club W0TX Denver Radio Club Learning Net. It's a great place to learn about ham radio STEM topics, and we have plenty of expertise and experience. We can talk about what we've talked about in the last few nets, talk about certain other current affairs within the ham radio, and anything else. We're pretty open discussion. So we're taking all call signs, all call suffixes. We got Peter N1GU. I'm checking in online. Appreciate that. I'll get you checked in here. But if you'd like to check in over the air, please call now. All right, this is K1DBC Net Control. Nothing heard just at the moment. This is an hour-long conversation about ham radio STEM topics. So we'll take official check-ins throughout the net, but if no one's speaking, you're more than happy to chime in and check yourself in. Once more, at the moment, we're taking all call signs, all call suffixes if you'd like to check in for the count, or if you have any traffic or questions, let us know your call sign, your name, and again, if you have any traffic or questions, please call now. Yeah, that'd be just fine. This is K1DBC Net Control. We had...
Poppy India, Ron in Lakewood, no traffic.
Kilo Echo Zero Alpha Bravo, Ken in Lakewood, no traffic.
Kilo 5 Alpha Foxtrot Oscar, Ben in Aurora, no traffic.
All right, this is K1DBC Net Control. We'll hold up there for just a moment. I did step over you just a little bit at the beginning there, Ron, but KF0FPI Ron, I got you checked in. KE0 Alpha Bravo Ken, and K5AFO Ben. Thank you all so much for checking in here. All right, this is K1DBC Net Control. All right, with his long-going saga, Ed Reed, AE0YR, has new radio and has had fairly bad signal reports in the past. So he's wondering if he can try to check in again. So Ed Reed, AE0YR, if you want to go ahead and check for a signal report, we can let you know how that sounds. Go ahead.
Alpha Echo Zero Yankee Romeo, Ed in Urbana.
All right, this is K1DBC Net Control. I'd have to go back and check it from the last couple of weeks, but it's readable. It is a little scratchy, but it is. I mean, I guess that is what you're reporting, so that is still there. But it is absolutely readable. I heard your call sign, your name, and everything. So if you have anything else or anyone else wants to chime in on that, go right ahead. All right, this is K1 DBC Net Control. Have you made any changes, Ed, on your end? I know we were talking about this during the last couple of Learning Nets and maybe the Elmer session online. I don't know if you've tried to make any changes, or I know you got your radio back from the manufacturer. So any news or anything update on that? Go ahead.
Last week, I went to the monthly Aries in-person meeting and ran into Mark Thomas, who loaned me a couple of power sources, which I tried, and I still got scratchy signal reports with alternate power sources. So now Jerry is looking for the club's loaner, a meter, and I'm going to forget the name, a meter where I can check my antenna and coax to see what my SWR is, to try and diagnose a little further.
All right, this is K1 DBC Net Control. I have a bad habit of trying to type things down as you're talking, and kind of maybe missed a few things there, but really do appreciate that. It sounds like you've tried some different power supplies. Jerry's trying to find a loaner antenna potentially, so it looks like you're trying to you're making some headway there, so it sounds good. Really do appreciate the update.
FPI.
Yeah, KF0 FPI Ron, go ahead.
Yeah, I didn't recognize the call sign. Is this Edgar that was on the Elmers session last week or the week before last?
Yes, that's correct. This is K1 DBC Net Control. That is correct. Ed Reed. Absolutely.
Yeah, my question to him, I think a couple weeks ago I suggested maybe he try using a battery, try getting not even some jumper leads and hook it up to your car battery, and that's about as clean DC as you're ever going to see, with no AC noise around it. Have you tried a DC power source from a battery?
No, but Mark Thomas suggested the same thing, so I will commit to doing that tomorrow. Good idea, thank you.
All right, this is K1 DBC Net Control. Thank you for the follow-up there, FPI Ron, for Ed Reed there, AE0YR. Another option is trying a battery versus a DC power and seeing if maybe it's a power supply, but sounds like he's maybe tried different power supplies, and yeah, I don't know. So ongoing saga, but hopefully we have some ends to this at some point for you there, Ed. But Elmer session from 5/15, May 15th. He went in pretty good depth. If you missed it, he has some pretty good information from our May 15th Elmer session meeting on YouTube. So check that out if you'd like some more background on that. But this is K1 DBC Net Control. Anyone else at the moment? Comments, questions, check-ins, anything else on what we've talked so far about, or anything else? Please call there.
W0TX repeater.
All right, Ed. Yeah, we feel your pain there. We can't wait as well until you get that resolved. So it is readable, but it is still some scratchy noise there. So anyone else? Comments, questions, check-ins? We still have 45 minutes for this evening's Learning Net. Great place to learn about ham radio STEM topics. If you'd like to check in, or if you have any comments or questions, please call in.
K0 KPS with some traffic.
Yeah, K0 KPS. Kevin, go ahead.
Yeah, I don't know if everybody got the recent email blast. We're still looking for anybody with a technician license or higher, and I see that everybody that's checked in has got that, for the siren test with Lakewood on June 5th. And we would want you on site in Lakewood at 10:30 in the morning, and the siren test goes off at 11. I see a good number of people here have already signed up, which is great. And if you have it and you're available on June 5th, if you could give me an email at K0KPS at W0TX.org. That's K0KPS at W0TX.org. I certainly could use some volunteers to help fill some needed positions for June 5th. So with that, I'll send it back to you, Jerome, K0KPS.
All right, sounds good there, Kevin, K0KPS. Yes, if you're a Denver Radio Club member and you're signed up for our email blast, you should have received an email. As mentioned there, K0KPS at W0TX.org for contact information, technician or higher, and it looks like everyone here is that. And volunteers at their sites 10:30 a.m. Test starting at 11 a.m. So contact again Kevin, K0KPS at W0TX.org. Invaluable service that we can provide to the different cities around here, and free volunteer hours, and really good experience. So really do appreciate us being able to continue that, and thanks Kevin for heading that this year. This is K1 DBC Net Control. Anyone else at the moment? Comments, questions, check-ins? Please call in. All right, this is K1 DBC Net Control. Just briefly on the siren test, again, I always love to plug our YouTube page, but I do have a video from our Wheat Ridge siren test from a few years ago, and you can kind of follow along with the process and see what's going on. Basically, dozen plus sirens, locations that the city has. We go and report if they're powered by solar power or by DC, and if everything is looking correct, and if the siren operates correctly as well. So very similar to the Lakewood siren tests. You get assigned a site, and then you go and report back on on a net of what the siren did physically, if it rotated or not, or if it had audio correctly on it. So these are services we're providing for the OEMs, the Office of Emergency Management, and Sheriff's Office for these cities. So invaluable service to make sure that these sirens continue to operate correctly. So if you have the opportunity, again, get a hold of Kevin Schmidt, K0KPS. This is K1 DBC Net Control. Anyone else at the moment? Comments, questions, anything else? Please call now. All right, this is K1 DBC Net Control. Farewell this evening to Ben, having to leave. Not a problem, K5AFO. Great to have you here as always, and we'll hear and see you next time. So this is K1 DBC Net Control. Comments, questions, check-ins, anything else so far for this evening's Learning Net? There's some recent news, security things from ARL we can talk about, some other ham radio related things, but any comments, questions, check-ins, anything else so far, please come down. All right, this is K1 DBC Net Control. If you did miss it, a couple of weeks ago, we did have our Elmers session and meeting. Really awesome. Our meeting, Patrick Ballon, ZSU on Geocron. Really informative and really just a really great talk. He's kind of a business individual and really understood the opportunities Geocron had within the ham radio community and has been a really great helping hand to building that organization and building the gaps and the different things that ham radio operators want and kind of the futures of their company and things like that. So if you haven't checked that out, a really great meeting by Patrick a couple of weeks ago. So check that out on YouTube if you missed it. And then as well, our Elmer session right before that as well, where Ed kind of goes through his radio issues. And then we also talked about other recent projects and different things going on. So this is K1 DBC Net Control. Anything else so far for this evening's Learning Net? We're taking all comments, questions, check-ins, everything at the moment. Please call on.
FPI.
Yeah, Ron, KF0 FPI. Go ahead.
Yeah, after that presentation that Patrick did, the mailman dropped one of those off in my mailbox on Saturday. Very, very cool little tool. It was a good price. He had a $3.99 deal on it till the end of the month. I installed the ham radio stuff, but it's got a lot of bells and whistles in it that will probably take me a month, if not a year or more, to get them all checked out. But it is a nice, high-quality piece. It was easy to set up, and I think that was a pretty good deal. I've been eyeballing those ever since I teched 3 years ago, and I couldn't avoid the sell price that he had. So it was my early Father's Day present to myself, and I already notified the wife and daughter what they got me. This is KF0 FPI, back to net.
Oh wow, excellent! That's great to hear. Yeah, it's a really really interesting product there. So did you get the analog version or the digital version?
Oh, definitely the digital. I'm retired. I'm retired, Jerome. I ain't got $4 or $5 to buy an analog one, although they are very, very cool. That would be very cool to have that, but you can't get the overlays and stuff and the premium info unless you go digital. And the digital is very, all of them very reasonable on the prices there. I think you can get every one of them for $120 a year. And the ham radio is $69 a year. But if you bought it through his deal, I got that free today. So it's very interesting. Shows the satellites. I'm quite impressed. He's doing for new owners. He's doing a presentation tomorrow night, and I'm going to tune into that, and maybe he can give me some insight. So my learning curve isn't so bad, but it is a high-tech piece, and it does need a big TV. I'm kind of testing it out slow on a small one, but I'll have to hang a nice one on the wall someday, and it'll be a nice addition to the shack. Back to net.
All right, sounds good. There, this is K1 DBC Net Control. Yeah, even on their website here, not everyone has $2,000 to $4,000 for a beautiful mechanical is the term I wanted to use before, mechanical geochrons. But a few $100s for a kind of just a computer that you plug into your TV and overlays quite a lot of information. So it's very visually stunning and really cool product. So very cool there. All right, this is K1 DBC Net Control. So that was Geochron. You can find it at geochron.com. Another option out there that you can run on a Raspberry Pi that's kind of probably trying to imitate that, Ham Clock. Available from several different places, but I think it's the Clear Sky Institute. You can run on a Raspberry Pi, so a little bit of homebrew information there as well. But yes, Geochron, it's as you mentioned, there is a subscription base to it, and it is quite worth it. As we know, data isn't free, and someone has to maintain and store data and update it. So it's really cool stuff there. So yeah, this is K1 DBC Net Control. Anyone else on that or anything else, please call now. All right. Didn't really explain too much what was that. Maybe buried the lead a little bit, but if you've not heard of it, it's kind of a nerd fest for GIS, Geographic Information Systems, maps and data and satellites and weather and all sorts of information. So all put onto one map. So you can go check that out on their website, geochron.com. Again, it's a computer you plug into an HDMI port, a television or something like that. So you can see solar flares, jet streams, pipelines, tidal heights, different unique layers and views. You can track satellites, aviation, International Space Station, tons of different overlays and information, and really cool stuff there. And Patrick does a really good job of describing his passion of the project and the project itself. So I highly recommend hearing the words from him as well, because he does a really good job of selling this product and things like that. So this is K1 DBC Net Control. Anyone else? Comments, questions, check-ins? Please call them.
WD0CIV, WD0CIV, Charles in Denver, just checking in.
Hey, Charles, got you checked in, WD0CIV, just for the account. If you have anything, don't hesitate to jump in at any given point. But this is K1 DBC Net Control. We have 35 minutes or so. There's no hard stop, but we usually end around 8:30 p.m. Mountain Time. Anyone else? Comments, questions, check-ins for this evening's Learning Net so far? Please call now. All right, quick recap so far. We were working with Ed there, ongoing saga of AE0YR in his new radio, getting some scratchy signal reports. So we'll be able to hopefully hear a little bit more reports on that next week or the week after. Let me see. Again, on our Elmers session, he talked in depth about that on May 15th, so you can go check that out on YouTube if you like. Lakewood siren tests coming up June 5th. Please get a hold of K0KPS at W0TX.org for more information on that, or to sign up, You'll need just a radio, HT, and be able to program it for our normal repeaters. So if you're talking on our repeaters now or previously, it's already completed. So 10:30 a.m. Start time, and then the test itself will start at 11. So, and then we were just recapping Geochron, our last meeting, and Patrick and his passion for that product and project, and just kind of the neatness of it. So this is K1 DBC Net Control. Anyone else? Comments, questions, check-ins? Please call now.
This is Kilo Echo Zero Alpha Bravo.
Yeah, Ken, Alpha Bravo. Go ahead.
Yeah, on the Geochron on YouTube,
there's a gal named, her name is Dr. Tamitha Scove, and she's kind of like a space weather lady. And during this last super solar storm and these X flares, she had that geochron in real time, and she was walking through the geochron and showing where the radio blackouts were in real time on the ham bands, and it was really interesting to watch. And her presentation was fantastic using that geochron, but it was really interesting. This is Kilo Echo Zero Alpha Bravo, back to net.
Very cool. This is really cool. The space weather woman. She goes by Dr. Tamitha Scove. Absolutely, great shout out there. I'm trying to find that one video we were talking about here. But yeah, as we were kind of talking about a little bit, there's not a lot of reporting on that, but it's great to hear that tools like that are put in use for kind of correlating data. So that's awesome to hear. This is K1 DBC Net Control. Anyone else on that? Go ahead.
Good evening. The time is 8 p.m.
All right, this is K1 DBC Net Control. I think I'm looking at the right one, maybe, but from May 10th, Dr. Tamitha Scove, about a 20-minute video here, but she has plenty of information and gives great solar weather reports and understanding of that information. This is K1 DBC Net Control. Anyone else on that? Go ahead, please.
Yeah, she posted this one day ago. It was about 10 minutes and 17 minutes long, but it was posted yesterday.
All right, this is K1 DBC Net Control. I'm looking at least at the newest video here. Let's see if I can find that specific spot. But there, yeah, Geochron. Okay, yes. This is K1 DBC Net Control. So yeah, it looks like she's using it around, at least in this instance, around the 7-minute, 30-minute, 50-minute mark for hopefully correlating that data. So yeah, absolutely. As we can see, this isn't just something that we can show at and look at and use for our information, but it's actually used in the real world for predicting and analyzing this data. So really cool stuff there. Thank you so much for that.
Kilo Echo Zero Alpha Bravo, back to net.
All right, this is K1 DBC Net Control. Maybe play like 10 seconds of this. Give me a second here.
Seeing very few hops, if any at all, across the pond. Everything is really kind of short communications being done and very little communication across continents.
All right, so yeah, she is using the Geochron product to show the different propagation between the different bands and visual understanding of how that solar weather event affected that. So geomagnetic storm affecting GPS signals, May 2024 was another thing she was talking about there, though. But really cool stuff here. Anyone else? Comments, questions, check-ins, anything else? Please call now.
W0TX repeater.
All right, yeah, great video here, it looks like. So yeah, it's not really weather or information that's portrayed in the mainstream media, but it's extremely important. As she was just mentioning there, GPS outages, Starlink outages, outages that impact public safety. So yeah, it really didn't seem like there was much reporting in the mainstream media about it, but it seems like there were some outages and things that would have impacted some of our state and governmental radios, whether it be audio or GPS or whatever it may be. But this is K1 DBC Net Control. Anyone else on that, please call now.
Times. So this became a big issue for a lot of farmers across the United States. And if that doesn't catch
Oh, and one more impact you just mentioned there, and it doesn't come up very often, is farmers and their GPS usage as well. And so, yeah, you can see how these solar flares really can kind of impact quite a lot that you may not think of. And so it can impact commerce and economics, and it's kind of just a hidden devil. But this is K1 DBC Net Control. Anyone else on the recent solar storm or anything else we've talked about? Please call there.
Yeah, this is Alpha Bravo. Yeah, those farmers, they couldn't even plant their rows of corn straight because of the GPS. So they had to wait until the GPS went back into effect before they could plant their corn, which I thought was rather interesting also. This is Kilo Echo Zero Alpha Bravo, back to net.
Yeah, absolutely. That is kind of interesting, and you won't really think about that and how this some of these things impact our normal day-to-day life. But yeah, very, very interesting stuff. So I'm glad we have people like Dr. Tamitha Scove to be able to correlate this information and show how these solar flares and weather events actually impact our day-to-day lives. So we have 25 minutes. Any other further comments, questions, check-ins? There's plenty of other current affairs we can talk about, but anything else, please come there.
Kilo Echo Zero Alpha Bravo. Yes, I guess if I want to have to plant corn, I'll have to go over to Ron's house over there and make sure that the GPS is working. This is Kilo Echo Zero Alpha Bravo, back to net.
Kilo Zero, Golf Papa Alpha, Bob in Lakewood, check in.
All right, thanks again, CIV, for information there, or FBI. And then we got K0 GPA Bob. Thanks for checking in. If you have anything, go right ahead.
I was listening on the scanner. I didn't have my radio handy. Anyway, K0 GPA.
All right, great to hear from you there, GPA Bob. If anyone else has anything else at the moment, comments, questions, check-ins, we're taking, I'll take this opportunity to take official check-ins. If you're just tuning in, this is the Denver Radio Club Learning Net, great place to learn about ham radio STEM topics and everything, all the tendrils that this hobby covers. So we're taking all comments, all check-ins at the moment, all call signs, all suffixes. If you'd like to check in, let us know your call sign, your name, and if you have any traffic or questions, please call now. One more time, this is K1 DBC Net Control. We also had a question online. I'll get back to you there here in a second, Ed. But we're taking all check-ins, call signs A through Z, Alpha through Zulu. Let us know your call sign, your name, and if you have any traffic or questions, please call now. All right, nothing heard at the moment. This is K1 DBC Net Control. We had a question in there from Ed Reed, AE0YR online, asking about recommended videos on how to use an antenna analyzer or VNA, vector network analyzer. I'm sure there's plenty of options out there, but anyone else on that? Has anybody, these nano VNAs were pretty popular a few years ago, and I think a lot of them are probably sitting on our shelves, but if anybody has had pretty good opportunity or pretty good inspiration, or have you viewed any videos online, any good tutorials that kind of inspired you to pick it back up and understand how to use it for SWR and some basic things? But anybody have suggestions on fairly good YouTube videos to watch that might be good introduction on that? Go right ahead.
FBI.
All right, this is K1 DBC Net Control. It's been a while since I've used them. I know that it was easier to use them on a computer. You can use a program. You can plug in a USB cable, Nano VNA or Nano Saver, and then we had FPI Ron in there. Go right ahead.
Yeah, I never went the BNA route, but I'm still kind of a rookie. But I would just go to YouTube, and then whatever analyzer that the club has that you can use, there's YouTubes on all of them. Mine is I got a CAA 500, and they, excuse me, the MFJs and all of them are on there. I stay particular on that and not waste any time on a different brand. But they're kind of, it's kind of a very easy test, and you know what band range you want to run. They're very, very easy tool to use. I love mine, and it's probably saved a radio or two. Not for sure about that, but back to net.
Yes, good suggestion there. Absolutely. Yeah, depending on the one that you're using, that might help narrow it down a little bit. Yeah, you mentioned the CAA 500 Comet, I think, analyzer you mentioned there. Some pretty good instructions for that. Yeah, these Nano VNAs, they're pretty cheap to buy and to own. But yeah, whatever the club may have or whatever you may have, check out some tutorials online. There's always some pretty big YouTubers nowadays. W28W, Ham Radio Hobbyist, Ham Radio Crash Course, Andreas Spies. A lot of electronic focused people that can give some pretty good instructions on how to use these. It's still a cross to bear on my end from really using one. I do have one, but I still not have used it after a couple of years now. But yeah, it is a little bit painful on the push to touch one, or on the finger, using it with your hand. So there are some programs you can use to use them on your computer as well. This is K1 DBC Net Control. Anyone else on that? Or if you have any other questions on that, Ed, let me see. I can give some very basic information on that. But anyone else on vector network analyzers or antenna analyzers, go ahead. All right, this is K1 DBC Net Control. One of the main usages we see is for these are for measuring SWR, standing wave ratio, making sure you're getting as low as possible ratio as possible. So it may be in preparation for trying to get your radio issues worked out there, but this is a pretty good tool just to make sure that your antenna and signal are operating at the most optimal that they can. So that is one of several functions of these tools. But yeah, anyone else on using an network vector network analyzer or antenna analyzer, or your experience, or some things that may have helped you? Go right ahead.
AF0E.
Yeah, AF0E. Alex, go right ahead.
Yeah, these top 2 videos on your YouTube list actually pretty good if you are into nano VNA, which I'm currently using. I used to have, I still have it, and I used it a lot. It's MFJ, what is that, 250 something, 59, I guess, which works fine. The only problem, you have to kind of visualize this graph for yourself, especially if you have multiple, peaks and dips. And this Nano VNA, I actually like it a lot. So I tested all my antennas and planning to climb up the roof and test it up there. So see how cable affects it, and it's fun to use. Over.
All right. right. Thank you so much for the follow-up there, Alex, AF0E. Yeah, some really good information online. There is kind of some fairly heavy math to these. We've talked about Smith charts in the past, and it's the SWR reading may not just be right out there for you, and you may need to do a little bit of digging and understanding of how that works. So things may have changed a little bit, but there is plenty of information out there. These have been out there for several years now and have hopefully only gotten easier and easier to use. So thanks for that follow-up, Alex, AF0E. Anyone else? Comments, questions, check-ins, please call there. All right, we got a thumbs up from Ed there. Appreciate that. So, anyone else? We have 15 minutes or so. Any further comments, questions, check-ins, anything else you'd like to bring up? Please call in. All right, this is K1 DBC Net Control. We were just talking about solar weather disruptions. We can move now on to systems disruptions coming from the ARRL. If you're an ARRL member, you may have gotten an email notification or seen this working its way through some of the news outlets, but ARRL has warned it suffered a cyber attack which disrupted its IT systems and online operations, including email and logbook of the world. So on Thursday, they announced, this is from last week, this is an article on bleepingcomputer.com on May 19th, today ARRL put something out on their webpage as well, but last week, let me drop here for a moment. They announced it suffered a cyber attack that disrupted its network and systems, including various online services hosted by them. They're in the process of responding to a serious incident involving access to our network and headquarters-based systems. Several services, such as Logbook of the World and the ARRL Learning Center, are affected, as they explained in a press release. So it was the updated press release here. So over on the web, arrl.org/news as well. So my apologies, they did put this out on the 16th originally, and then they have been updating this post ever since. So we do appreciate their timeliness and understanding of security of their systems. Let's see their most recent update here. Let me see. The VEC was also affected, but has resumed processing of licensing as of today. There's been no interruption to visitor operating at their physical W1AW Memorial Station. Let's see. After last week's distribution, the ARRL letter, e-newsletter has been resumed. Orders on their website store have been resumed. So it looks like it disrupted quite a lot. So as we know, this is a hobby of engineering, but very, very old engineering, which may forget the modern day understanding of security. So this is K1 DVC Net Control. Anyone on that, go right ahead. All right, this is K1 DBC Net Control. All right, yep, security in a modern day technology, cybersecurity especially. We need to make sure that our servers, our systems, and our processes are as secure as possible to make sure there's no nefarious actors taking over or disrupting. So over on our webpage, w0tx.org, and with our tech committee meeting, we do as much as possible to make sure that our website is as secure as possible. We will tentatively start to take membership payments, I believe, in June. So that is a very tentative update. I am working to do that, but hopefully starting in June or July, we will start to move our membership payments to our website in a more automated fashion than they are done now. So We thank all of our volunteers, officers, and staff for being able to help as much as possible. Kathy Vilhauer, our club treasurer and membership chairperson, N0CRZ, will be stepping down next year. Let me drop here for a moment. I guess just some update on our club. At some point next year, Kathy will be stepping down, so we are looking for some help. If you would like to help with being a club treasurer or a membership chairperson, these processes are getting easier and easier as time goes on. And we would love to have you volunteer with our club. There's also plenty of other opportunities to volunteer within our club. So if you'd like to volunteer at net control operations, website, social media, roundtable editor, Brennan Pate, I can't thank him enough, AD0UZ. We'd love to have some help for him. So if you'd love to help with curating our newsletter, we'd love to hear from you. So this is K1 DBC Net Control. Get a hold of our different positions at their respective email addresses. But this is K1 DBC Net Control. Anyone else? Comments, questions, check-ins? We have another 10 minutes. Please call now.
KF0PCW, Doug, checking in. No traffic.
Sorry about that, Doug. I'm just trying to double confirm your call sign here. I may have gotten it wrong, but KF0 DCW, Delta Charlie Whiskey. Can you confirm that? I think I may have missed something there. Go ahead.
KF0 Papa Charlie Whiskey. Over.
All right, got you that time, Doug. Kilo Fox 0, Papa Charlie Whiskey. Doug, got you checked in. Thank you so much for checking in here.
Thank you. This is my first time checking in on a net, and I'm just on the phone with somebody who just helped me learn how to do it. Thank you very much. Clear.
W0TX repeater.
Awesome. Excellent to hear. Glad you've had some assistance getting you on here, and glad that you've made it on here. So, you're coming in loud and clear. Appreciate you checking in. If you have any comments or questions, let us know. We have another 10 minutes or so. This is just a general Q&A about ham radio and STEM topics, and glad that you've been able to make it here. So this is K1 DBC Net Control. Anyone else? Comments, questions, check-ins? Please call in. All right, this is K1 Net Control. Always love to hear new people checking in and joining our net. We do not bite. You're more than happy to just hang around in the background. It's optional participation in this net, and it's kind of just general camaraderie. So we appreciate anyone who can participate and who can help out with other people's issues. So this is K1 DBC Net Control. Anyone else? Comments, questions, check-ins? Please call now. All right, this is K1 DBC Net Control. I'll see if there's any other news articles that I can bring up here. But anyone else? We have 10 minutes or so. If you'd like to check in for the Denver Radio Club Learning Net, just for the counter, for any comments or questions. We're taking all call signs, all call suffixes. Please call now. All right, obviously over the last few weeks, there's been a lot of activity, whether it be ham radio or aviation. So we had the Hamvention, the Dayton Hamvention, take place over the last few weeks here. Let me see. I have not ever been able to make it, but ARL has a few articles on that. Let me see. ARL National Convention hosted a Dayton Hamvention concludes. That was the most recent one. Their youth rally successes. National Convention kicks off on the 17th. So a good few days of a lot of fun. It sounded like. So if anybody has information on that, did you go and visit it? Were you an exhibitor? Did you purchase anything? Anything new to report this year from Hamvention? If anybody has anything to report, go right ahead. All right, this is K1 DBC Net Control. Plenty of stuff online nowadays. I think in my feed I was seeing Ham Radio Outlet, but if you just look up Dayton Hamvention 2024, there's plenty of videos and plenty of things to report. So if anybody has anything on that, go right ahead. All right, this is K1 DBC Net Control. Anyone else at the moment? Comments, questions, check-ins? I'll see if I can find something else on that, but anyone else, go right ahead. All right, this is K1 DBC Net Control. Yeah, it's the Ham Radio Outlet did some videos on there of some of the equipment they were looking at, and plenty of other videos online as well. So let me see if I can go through some of the articles here really quickly. But anyone else so far, please call now. All right, this is K1 DBC Net Control. All right, article written here on May 17th by Sam Shaner, KE1 SAM. 2024 ARL National Convention kicks off at Dayton Hamvention. Massive turnout of hams of all ages are flocking to numerous attractions at the 2024 annual convention. Local scattered showers don't seem to be raining on this parade. So outside the building 2, seemingly miles long of attendees waiting for their orders of pork tenderloin sandwiches and different food there. So really cool stuff there. Popular corner is the display area of the ARL publications, some of which are hot off the press. Attendees took turns thumbing through the 19th edition of Hints and Kinks, Parks on the Air book, and ARL's Tech Through Amateur License manual. Let's see, back to forms. Form 3 bustling with activities as well. Director of Emergency Management for ARL, Josh Johnston, KE5 MHV, gathers a sizable crowd to hear his presentation on partnerships between ARES, Amateur Radio Emergency Services Groups, Auxcom, Auxiliary Communications Groups, SafeCom, CISA, in addition to continued positive relations with served agencies at the state, regional, and federal levels. Last bit of this, Forum Room 3 had fewer seats, empty seats as the day progressed. Johnston's talk was followed by ARL National Instructor Gordon West, WB6 NOA, his engaging overview of instructor technique, how to best teach prospective hams in an accessible and fun way. Gordo's forum was a sensible segue into ARL education and learning. Manager Steve Goodgames, K5ATA, deep dive into the many ways amateur radio science is not only making its way into schools, but leading to unprecedented youth licensing. As the afternoon rolls on, skies cleared, so that was just one article on that. So arl.org/news. And the official website was hamvention.org. Anyone else? We have just a few minutes. Any other further comments, questions, check-ins, anything else so far for this evening's Learning Net? Please call now. All right, this is K1 DBC Net Control. The other event I mentioned as well, there is a lot of excuse me, a lot of, I'm trying to think of the word here, collaboration, or there's a lot of mixture between aviation and audio as well, or radio, just naturally. But a lot of amateur radio operators, ham radio operators are also aviation enthusiasts. So eaa.org/AirVenture for their recent Oshkosh, or I guess this is coming up in July. I don't know why I thought, maybe I was thinking of Fun in the Sun or some other recent event, but plenty of aviation opportunities throughout the year. So yeah, this is in the future. I must have been thinking of something else, but this is K1 DBC Net Control. Anyone else? Just a couple minutes here. Last minute comments, questions, check-ins. Please call now. All right, this is K1 DBC Net Control. Let me see. We'll probably start to wrap things up here, but any other last-minute comments, questions, check-ins, anything else for this evening's Learning Net? Please call now. All right, one other event, volunteer opportunity. Really, and ultimately, we really need someone to actually step up and lead this opportunity. The American Diabetes Association Tour de Cure, we've participated in the last couple of years. It's a cycling fundraiser event in the American Diabetes Association that creates a sense of unity and shared purpose in the fight to end diabetes. DRC has supported this event with radio operators, and the event has asked for our support again this year. We really just need someone to head this and lead this project. So we may not be able to support it this year if we don't have anyone stepping up. So this is another project. You can reach out to Kevin Schmidt, K0KPS at w0tx.org for supporting this event. So if you've done any Aries support or cycling events in the past and you'd like to take lead in this, we'd love to be able to commit to that again this year. So this is K1 DBC Net Control. Anyone else? Comments, questions, check-ins? Please call now.
W0TX repeater.
All right, this is K1 DBC Net Control. I didn't really prepare for that very well, but basically, these events, we are setting up basically a net. We have net control operations at kind of their start and stop finish line. And then we have people that either are statically set up at different locations with an HT or a mobile radio. And then we have roaming ham radio operators as well. So it's kind of a fairly good coordinated effort to make sure that we have as much communications as possible for their event. So that's very, very surface level basics of it. But we would need someone basically just head up this event and coordinate it with the American Diabetes Association. So this is K1 DBC Net Control. Anyone else? Comments, questions, check-ins? We just ticked over to 8:31 p.m. Anyone else? Please call now. All right, this is K1 DBC Net Control. I'll throw it out to the group. Any other last-minute comments, questions, check-ins? This will be the opportunity. Any last-minute comments, questions, check-ins for this evening's Learning Net? Please call now. All right, this is K1 DBC Net Control. All right. Too many people to thank, but I want to thank everyone as well for their immense continued support for this club, this nonprofit organization. We've been going since 1917, and we've been going pretty strong. So I can't thank enough our club officers and staff our club president, Jerry Vilhauer, W0GV, Kathy Vilhauer, treasurer, Kevin Schmidt, vice president, K0KPS, our secretary, Orlin Wolf, Mark Thomas, N0XRS board members, as well as KB0CHT, WG0N, and myself on the board as well as all the other staff and volunteers who help out here with our nets, taking net control operations and heading up different things. So I can't thank everyone enough. I probably shouldn't have started naming names because I'm not going to be able to go through all these just at the moment, but we have a lot of great people helping out constantly. And if you'd love to participate in that, there are a lot of opportunities, and it's now more than easier to help with some of these things. So I guess with the net control operations, a lot of participation in that here recently. Really do appreciate that, and we do have a pretty cool tool for being able to doing that. So if you'd like to help with that, our Wednesday night or Sunday night nets, get a hold of us because we will show you the ropes, and you'll be able to be immensely helpful to us. So this is K1 DBC Net Control. Let me head back to the script, and we will wrap things back up. All right, thank you again, everyone. And honestly, it's kind of the PBS. I think is you all really make this club work and operate. So you all continually to check into our nets and participating and helping really is what drives this club. So we can't thank you all enough, quite frankly, as club members, non-members, anyone who participates in our nets and different activities. So I want to thank you all as well, really, for that. And this evening we had a total of 13 check-ins. Really do appreciate that. Let me see. Again, we thank our everyone who participated. We especially thank our Elmers, really just anyone who helps out, really. And in the club, we thank them for allowing us to use their repeaters for this net. Join us on the third Wednesday of the month, 6 p.m. for an Elmer session. Just a general Q&A just like this. And over on our website, w0tx.org for more information on that. And 7 p.m. for the meeting. Let me drop and see if I have anything else. Over on our social media, I don't bring this up too often enough, but if you've enjoyed these nets and you'd like to continue this conversation, if you'd like to join our chat room, essentially is what it is. It's Discord, but it's w0tx.org/Discord. Plenty of our members on there and non-members helping to answer your questions throughout the week. So if you've enjoyed this, I really highly recommend going over there because very friendly bunch and really great information. So w0tx.org/Discord. With that, this is K1 DBC Net Control 7-3, and I am clear. Everyone have a good evening. All right, thanks everyone who participated on here. You all have a good evening.
KF0.